Welcome to Chinuch Babayit number 14. We're talking about how to build the child's memory. So, as you know, the word iyun, analysis, actually comes from the three-letter root ayin, which means eye. When the eye pays attention to detail, simat lev, it's paying attention, what ends up happening is that it's printed more penetrating in the mind than ever before. That's why it improves memory. So, for example, when you're driving, you're paying attention to the road, hopefully, and you're not paying attention to a lot of other details that are not immediately relevant to your journey. But your passengers, they can be spending time thinking about what they're looking at. Simas Alev is a massive key to memorization. And the magic bag game that we mentioned yesterday is a very simple way to have a young child, 4, 5, 6 years old onwards, engaged in putting their hand inside a magic bag with lots of different items. It could be an eraser, a watch, and it can a thimble. It can be a pair of eyeglasses. It can be all sorts of different items that you would put in there. A spoon, and you ask the child while they're blindfolded or they're not seeing what's inside the bag, only their hand is in the bag. Ask them, is it what you're touching? Have you picked something up? Is it long? Is it short? Is it soft? Is it hard? Is it rough? Is it smooth? Is it made of plastic or wood? Or do you think it's made of paper or metal or rubber? And just by asking lots of questions, you're directing the mind of the child to pay attention to detail. Details they might not have been paying attention to had they not been asked these questions. Then when they take the item out of the bag and they'll tell you what it is, and you ask them, what can it be used for? What else can it be used for? And keep asking the question again and again, and what else can it be used for? And that builds their creative imagination. The second game I want to share with you is called the stacking game. Some of you are familiar with this. It would start like this. You go around the table with your family, members of the family. When I went to Eretz Yisrael, or when Mashiach comes and I pack my bag for Eretz Yisrael, I took with me my tefillin. The person next to you now has to repeat what you put in the suitcase and add what he's going to put in. When I went to Eretz Yisrael, I put in my tefillin and my tzitzit. The third person now has to say, when I went to Eretz Yisrael, I packed my tefillin, my tzitzit, and my watch strap, my wristwatch. The fourth person say, well, when I went out to Israel, I packed my tefillin, my tzitzit, my watch, and my camera. And you keep going around and round. Now, it's called a stacking game. You're stacking one item on top of the other. And in using mental association, memory association, what you can do is teach your children a fantastic trick where they make a funny story, a funny connection between each item, which makes it much easier to remember how each item is connected to the next item. So, for example, I might imagine, let's say, tzitzit hanging off the four corners of my tefillin bag. And I might see a watch strap entangled in my tzitzit on one of those corners. And then I would see the watch of the watch strap actually a camera as well. So if you press the face of the watch, it will take a photograph of your fingerprint. So you just have a funny way that's unusual, strange, weird, that will connect the item to the next item. And because your brain has never thought of such a thing before, it's imagining this for the first time. And so your brain creates its own file for that connection. That's how you can improve memory. So the bottom line here is those are two simple games for children to improve their memory, but it's also a reflection of the following. There is no good or bad memory. There is trained memory and untrained memory. And these are two games to really help develop a child to pay attention to detail and also to build up connection between one item and another. Enjoy.